It's interesting that Bev described teaching as a calling, and Reg spoke about his profession extending well beyond the walls of the classroom. He said it was a caring profession. I wonder if these are characteristics that would be important to other caring professionals, like nurses or doctors, for instance.
You have to be available all day, every day, 24 hours a day.
You get a lot of satisfaction from the sick patients that come in that you treat, you make a decision, and the guys do well.
These two young doctors work in the trauma unit at the Johannesburg Hospital. Lives depend on their dedication, on their professionalism. If they don't dedicate 100% of their effort and skill at all times, patients could die.
If there's one person in the team who's not doing their job very well, and that can be anyone, they're all just as important. The whole thing breaks down and it's a shambles.
If you don't keep up with advances, you're in effect not providing an adequate service to your patient, and you can be held accountable or responsible for that.
You know, we are learning all the time.
I've got an extreme amount of passion for my work. I love it. You know, without a good education, you're not going to produce professionals, and you need professionals to provide a good education.
Dr. Loveland is right. A good education is where it all begins. People may not die physically if teachers do their jobs badly, but many young South Africans have had their chances in life destroyed because of a bad education. Could this not be considered the same kind of abuse of human rights as that of a doctor turning his back on a patient? So teachers, like doctors, are involved in life and death situations. But what do teachers think makes a teacher exceptional?
An exceptional teacher is like me.
The secret is teamwork and understanding each other.
They also have to be reachable by their pupils, by the community, by the parents, by even the colleagues.
Love your work.
A teacher has to be dedicated, sacrifice, and at the same time a teacher should be disciplined.
Don't sit back and say my 3-year diploma was just enough. You have to attend workshops, you have to attend, join this club and that club to learn about certain things. Subscribe to magazines, education magazine bulletins, read the circulars that come to the school. You must be totally aware of what's happening because education in South Africa, and I'm sure generally education is dynamic.
What interested me were the many similarities between what a doctor does and what a teacher does. For instance, they described their profession in terms of a calling, in terms of going the extra mile, in terms of caring, in terms of being passionate, and in terms of keeping up to date professionally. But they also raised a couple of important and interesting new concepts. They spoke about professional accountability and said that the medical profession governs itself, but in return, they have to guarantee quality to the public. But then secondly, they said that the medical profession must take responsibility for their actions. They can't simply hide behind bureaucratic procedures. So professionalism is not just about dressing smartly or following a set of rules. It's about having the X factor, about being exceptional. Here are the stories of two teachers who, in their different ways, have tons of the X factor.
Nomsa Tole is a teacher at Sewenyane High School in Mpumalanga. This is a teacher who packs a lot of quality time into each day, and whatever she does very well.
Our duty or our work is to educate the community. But if you stand aloof from the community, then that community will be in trouble.
Nomsa takes her role as a teacher in the community very seriously. During the week, she holds meetings with other women on challenging abuse. At nights and on weekends, she sometimes teaches adult literacy classes.
You know, most of them, when they came to Masisizane, they were not able to write. They were not able to, let alone reading. But today, they can read their Bibles, they can write. When they go to the banks, they no longer ask for anybody's help. They know what to do.
Ngingathi mina uNomsa uyena uthisha engimbona ukuthi usifundisa kahle kakhulu, and then kulomsebenzi wakhe uyawuthanda umsebenzi wakhe.
Nomsa certainly has all the attributes of a true professional. She could quite easily go home when the bell rings. Instead, she has committed herself to the welfare of the whole community.
I like to see children progressing, to see children being something in the world.
Mrs. Mpengezi is a teacher at a small farm school in the Cathcart area in the Eastern Cape. After 35 years of experience, you might think that she would sit back and rest on her laurels.
I thought of improving myself in teaching maths.
After discovering all the new teaching methods and ideas of the new curriculum, she felt she could not and should not keep this information to herself.
Now that things are changing in this new approach, I thought that I must bring this to other teachers.
Who told another teacher, who told another teacher. And soon there were not only enough to enroll for a special teacher upgrading course at UPE, but teachers became so enthusiastic they started subject support groups and workshops on the new methods. Like Nomsa Tole, Mrs. Mpengezi was not content to just sit around. Her desire was not only to provide her learners with the best education that she could give them, she also worked at developing the skills of her fellow teachers.
It's nice that the information you've got, you must pass it to other people.
Nobody told these teachers to upgrade their skills or work after hours or educate the community. As Tim says, they had a sense of mission, the X factor. They took the initiative and made contributions that made a real difference to people's lives.
Everything that makes other human beings excellent counts even in the teaching profession. If a person has got a sense of mission, has got passion and commitment, there's no other person who can feel that way for you. You can feel it for yourself, and you are doing it for yourself. And if you are in a position, therefore, to create the miracles that I spoke about, why not go for it? The system is not going to create those miracles. And anyway, our own history in South Africa is littered with people. All of the people that we count as icons are people who overcame the odds after all.